And another issue the National Football League is looking at and currently litigating is the violence in the sport, especially head injuries. More than 5,000 former NFL players have sued the league, accusing them of fraud when it comes to concussions. In July, a U.S. federal judge gave tentative approval to a settlement that would compensate players up to $870 million. A final ruling is expected soon. Well, two Seattle-based startups are trying to make American football safer with equipment to protect against head injuries. Chris Casqueo has the story.
Just hold on to the ball. That's all you want to do. You don't care if you get a first down.
Oh, that's a monster hit!
A Seattle area company has designed a smart mouth guard to help prevent fatal head injuries in American football, a sport that celebrates violent contact. In October, a high school football player in the state of New York died after colliding with an opponent. I1 Biometrics believes measuring head trauma through its vector mouth guard will make the game safer.
So think of it like a smartphone in your mouth. It has many of the same components. Accelerometers, gyroscopes, microprocessors, those types of things are in the mouth guard itself.
It relays information to a receiver and a computer downloads information in real time. The mouth guard measures how hard a player got hit and shows where the blow landed. Athletic trainers looking at the data on the sidelines can then decide whether to take a player out of a game.
You want to insert a medical opinion as close to the time of injury as possible. You don't want to miss hits. You want to know the magnitude of those hits, and you can't see everything on the sidelines and on the field of play.
The American Association of Neurological Surgeons says up to 85% of traumatic brain injuries are preventable with proper use of helmets. Yet in 2013, 8 U.S. high school football players died from head or neck injuries. Another startup based at the University of Washington is working on making safer helmets. The company's chief medical officer and pediatric neurosurgeon says most concussions in helmeted sports happen from so-called glancing blows, where the head is turned sideways rather than direct head-on hits. The Vices helmet looks like conventional helmets, but its designers believe it will provide better protection against concussions.
We have a pretty lofty goal for this helmet, which is to reduce the risk of concussion by 50%. Time will tell if we get there. We're certainly very optimistic that the helmet's going to reach that goal at the end of the day.
Vices won't say when it will start selling the helmet or how much it will cost, but the company recently received $500,000 in backing from the National Football League. If the vector mouthguard works in American football, I1 Biometrics argues it could also help prevent head injuries in basketball and in the kind of football the rest of the world plays. Chris Casquejo, CCTV, Seattle.